Hello and welcome to Around the Clock. I'm your host, Yolanda Greaves. Today we are speaking with Kevin Anderson. Kevin, welcome to Around the Clock.
Thank you, Yolanda. Great to be here.
Kevin is the newest, and I won't say brand new because it's been about 6 months, athletic director for the Ashland Public Schools. Kevin, where are you from and what brought you to Ashland?
I'm a Massachusetts native. I grew up in Dorchester, spent some time in New Hampshire on the West Coast, and I found my way back here. And I found my way to Ashland kind of over the river and through the woods in a sense. I've spent 20 years in college athletics before transitioning to high school. And after 3 years at Grafton, I found Ashland. It's been a great experience thus far.
Well, first of all, maybe not everyone knows, what does an athletic director do? What does that job entail?
Yeah, I think, maybe when we were in high school, it was always the football coach, and he kind of did all the gym teacher stuff and those kind of things. It's changed tremendously probably over the last 30 years, and even over the last 5 years with the push for social media. So I do a little bit of that.
Okay.
To engage the community, engage our student athletes. I do a lot of scheduling, a lot of policy development. But mostly I'm with the kids, and that's, kind of the thing that drives me is to connect with the kids and kind of be a face for athletics at Ashland.
How many sports do we have in our Ashland Public Schools?
So there's 56 when you count the different levels of teams. Like for instance, boys basketball has freshman, JV, varsity. Not all programs have that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so it's a plateful, but it's exciting. The enjoyment that I get from watching the kids compete and get better over time and then see them smile and, deal with, victories and understand what happens in defeats. That's the kind of thing that really, really pushes me.
Now, do we have sports down at our middle school? Do you manage those sports as well?
Absolutely, yeah. Actually, today we had step-up day for the middle schoolers, so they all came up to the high schools to kind of, walk around and see it. And it's fun to see them begin that process of coming to high school, and I explained to them all the sports we had and all the things they can take part in at the high school. So yeah, we've got sports down at the middle school, and it's fun to see them really get involved right away and carry that passion to the high school. So
you got hired and brought on in July, jumped right into the fall season. What was that like to jump into? I would expect some of it was already in place. What was that like for you those first couple of months?
It was chock full, shall we say. There was a lot going on, and it's a different job than I had previously, and I love that because I'm learning more. Okay. But a lot of it was set up in advance and, scheduling and things like that by the previous athletic director, who's been a great resource for me. I've been able to connect with him and say, hey, what happens here? What should I do here? To kind of guide me. And sometimes you need that because without it, you're going in blind. So it was busy. It was exciting. And, getting to know the kids was probably the easiest part because, I consider myself a connectable person. Mm-hmm. So getting to know them, that kind of gave me some street cred in a sense, like this guy knows what he's doing. So that part was fun. But, games, schedules, referees, buses, the weather, all those things played a part in the fall. But it was awesome. It really was. So
we had fall sports. We're currently in winter sports. What sports are going on right now that you're seeing and helping the kids work through?
So we got boys and girls basketball, track for boys and girls, wrestling, hockey, boys and girls. We're a co-op with a couple other schools for girls hockey, skiing, swimming. So we've got a lot going on in the winter, and it's fun too. I was watching the ski race last night on the live stream, and I was like, wow, these kids are so impressive. There's no way you're catching me on skis.
So where do our teams ski? Where do they go?
They go to Ski Ward, and we're in a co-op with Medfield. So we get some kids from Medfield, and we get some kids from Ashland. We create a team. That happens a lot when there's interest from one town and interest from another. They kind of meld together and put a program together.
And where are our swim teams working now? Because I know we lost Keith Techpool.
Yeah. I think one of the smartest things that happened this winter was the decision by our swim coach to spend some time at the pool in Medfield, and sometime at the CrossFit in
Nice.
Southborough. So rather than making our kids go all the way to Medfield every night, spend some of that time, getting stronger at CrossFit, and I think it's really paid off. They've got their TVL championships this weekend, and they're very excited.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Very good. Are we expecting anything big out of any of our team members?
I'm always expecting big things. They've had a really good season, and I think they like that kind of a switch. It's hard when you're practicing, 20 minutes away from home, and it's 8:30, 9 o'clock, and you're getting home at 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Still have homework to do.
You still got homework to do, and you got to get up early and go to school the next day. So that was a great decision by Coach Gotch, yeah.
So spring sports coming up.
Yeah, very excited about the
What sports
spring.
do we have for the spring?
Track and field, outdoor, baseball, softball, both lacrosses, tennis, unified track and field, which is great. So there's a lot of opportunities for our student athletes, our students to get involved.
How much parent involvement do you expect at the high school level?
Expect or get? Two different things, I guess.
Let's start with expect. Or what would you expect?
You're always going to have parents involved because there's always issues that come up, I think. But there's also the parents who are always at every game. You don't hear from them. They help out. Yeah. And I think that's one of the great things about Ashland. We had a wrestling tournament at the beginning of the year that we hosted. And I went to the cafeteria, and there must have been 10, 11 wrestling parents behind the table who would spend time making food at their homes to bring, to sell, to raise money for the program. Yeah.
Great.
And so you get that kind of involvement, which is awesome.
Yeah.
That's really good.
I think one of the great things about our community is the volunteerism and that people step up to help.
Yeah. There's a lot of help. And I've heard from so many people welcome, and that part really warms my heart.
What has been the hardest thing for you in the transition to the job here in Ashland?
I think, learning how Ashland works. It's no district is the same. And my job at Grafton was very different than this job, like I said earlier. And it's really taught me, ways to kind of be a better athletic director. And that's what I wanted when I came here. I wanted to be challenged. And Ashland has done that. So the things that I needed to work on, I'm working on, and it's going to make me a better athletic director, and it's going to help our kids more. So that's been great.
And I think for everyone, if you're in a job where you can grow and learn, you're going to be much more engaged. So that's great.
Yeah.
What has been your favorite thing, or what has been the best experience since you've gotten here? One thing?
There's so many. I don't know if there's one thing, but I love being with the kids. Like my door's open all the time. Kids are constantly popping in. So what happens is that like during a lunch period, I'll be at my desk, and next thing you know, there's 10, 15 kids in my office. So I'll grab my phone and I'll snap a picture of them all in random faces and just sitting around. And now I've created like a wall of fame of the kids just in my office hanging out. And there's one that's really cool is I put a huge bowl of candy on it. On my desk, and the kids grabbed at it, and it broke, and the candy went all over the floor. So I snapped that picture, and that was the first picture that went up. Yeah.
You were mentioning social media. So where could people follow you if you're on social media?
I think we're most active on Instagram. It's Ashland Athletics. That's the place to be. Every morning, before I almost get out of bed, I post the daily schedule. I prepare it the night before, and I post it. So everybody knows what games are happening that day. And then at night, you're getting results, and you're getting, a lot of information about everything going on with Ashland Athletics.
At Ashland Athletics on Instagram.
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you have a personal Instagram, or is that the only one you use?
That's I do have a personal one, but the Ashland Athletics is the one to go to. That's the best one.
Good. Well, before I let you go, there's a question I ask all first-time visitors to Around the Clock. I haven't had to do this for a while because we haven't had any first-time first. The question is there something about you, Kevin Anderson, that not many people may know that you'd be willing to share with our viewers?
Wow, that's a really good question. What do I want to divulge?
What detail do you want to share?
You know what? I'm left-handed. That's not great, but it's only 11% of the world's population is left-handed, so I like that. And I'm a barbecue fanatic. How about that? I'll drive and go wherever to try and find some barbecue.
So you've been to Fireflies.
Love Fireflies. So great. I was in Sturbridge a couple of weeks ago at BT Smokehouse.
Oh, that's another good
yeah. So I'll go wherever to find some barbecue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Kevin, welcome to Ashland. I'm sure we'll chat more in the future as you're a little more settled in the job, but thank you for coming on Around the Clock, and we wish you the best of luck as Ashland's athletic director.
Thanks for having me. It was great.
Great. Thanks for being here.
Yep.
And we'll be back with more Around the Clock.